Hi everyone, I'm going to do a retelling of the Seven Chinese Brothers, so I hope you enjoy. Once upon a time, during the Qin Shi Huang dynasty, while he was still emperor, there were 7 brothers who lived on a beautiful hilltop. Now these 7 brothers, they were very much alike. They all talked alike, they all walked alike, and they all looked exactly the same. However, each brother had his own power that was all his own. So the first brother, he had ears that could hear a fly land on the Great Wall of China from 100 miles away. The second brother had eyes that could see that fly on the wall from 100 miles away and see the fly doing everything and maybe even feel sorry for itself. The third brother, he was very, very strong. He was so strong that he could walk in a straight line across China and pick up mountains that were in front of him and gently put them back down whenever he was done walking through them. The fourth brother was also very strong, but in a bit of a different way. He actually had bones made of iron that couldn't be bent, broken, or smashed. The fifth brother had legs that he could stretch as long and as thick as trees. And then there was the sixth brother, who, no matter under what circumstance, would never get too warm, even if he was working underneath the summer sun all day. And then there was the seventh brother, who was the baby of the family, and he was always supposed to be happy and cheerful, and his brothers did everything that they possibly could to ensure that their brother was happy, because if their youngest brother was sad, his tears could be big enough to destroy an entire village with just one single tear. Now, these brothers were incredibly happy living on their little farm on this beautiful hillside. But one day, the first brother noticed there was something strange in the wind, and so he listened very carefully, and he said, "I think there's something going on at the Great Wall of China." So, second brother looked and went, "Ah, yeah! There's a hole in the wall! There's a giant hole in the Great Wall of China!" And so the brothers, they started talking about what they could possibly do. And that's when the third brother said, "You know what? I'm going to go and help those people," because seventh brother started getting very sad thinking about all of those people who had to work extra hard in order to fix the wall. And third brother did not want his seventh brother to cry. And so he went and marched all the way to the Great Wall of China in half a minute, less than no time. When he got there, he got right to work. He started picking up bricks by the handfuls and placing down rocks, and by that evening, the wall had been completely fixed. And so he lay down for a nice little rest. However, the Celestial Emperor, whose face is more dazzling than the rising sun, got word that the wall had been fixed in less than no time. And so he thought to himself, the person who must have done this has to be very powerful, and therefore might be more powerful than me. I must put a stop to this. So I will send not just 1, but 2 armies to go out and capture him. So, when third brother woke up from his little nap, he noticed that there was not 1, but 2 armies that were surrounding him. The Celestial Emperor, whose face is more dazzling than the rising sun, marched forward and declared to the third brother that he was to be executed by beheading. Third brother was distraught, of course, and he started to cry. However, the first brother heard it, and the second brother saw it and said, "Ah, yeah! Third brother is in danger. He's going to be beheaded by the emperor." And so, not to make seventh brother upset, fourth brother piped up and said, "I'll take his place. They'll try to behead me, but they can't because my bones are made of iron. I will take his place and he will return home in my stead." So, fourth brother marched to the wall and got there in half a minute, less than no time, and indeed switched places with third brother. And so third brother went home, and fourth brother took his place. That morning, people tried to behead him. The king's soldiers kept marching up with their swords and kept trying to cut off who they thought was third brother's head, but nothing happened. He thought that he was getting a massage. And so when soldiers went up to the celestial emperor, whose whisper was like a rolling of thunder, he declared, "Oh man, this guy must be more powerful than I thought. You know what? We'll drown him. We'll drown him in the morning." When fourth brother heard this, he thought to himself, "My bones are made of iron. I can't be stabbed. I can't be broken, but I can still drown." And he got very sad and started to cry. First brother heard it, and second brother saw it, screaming, "Ay-ya! They're going to drown fourth brother!" And that's when fifth brother got the idea, before his seventh brother could start crying. "I can stretch my legs so long that I could, if I tried really hard, reach down to the bottom. I would never drown." And so he marched to the emperor's palace in half a minute, less than no time, and switched places with his brother. And fourth brother got to go home. So morning came, and who they thought was the third brother, who was actually the fifth brother, was thrown into the sea. But his head never went under the water, because his legs kept stretching and stretching and stretching until his feet hit the bottom. The emperor, whose whisper was like the rolling of thunder, said, "Throw him in deeper." And they did. But fifth brother's legs only grew longer. And so the emperor finally said, "Throw him into the deepest part of the ocean." And they did. But the water never went past the fifth brother's chin. In fact, he liked the coolness of the bottom of the ocean on his feet. The emperor was astounded. He thought to himself, "This man is much more powerful than I thought. Oh, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Oh, I know," the emperor said. "I'll burn him alive." Fifth brother heard this and thought to himself, "I can stretch miles and miles and miles, but I'm not fireproof." And at the realization that he was going to die, he started to cry. First brother heard it, and second brother saw it and declared, "Ay-ya! They're going to burn our brother alive." And that's when the sixth brother, before his seventh brother could start crying, declared, "I'll take his place. The fire will have no effect on me." And so, in the middle of the night, after they had returned to the emperor's palace, sixth brother switched places with his fifth brother, and fifth brother got to go home. And then that following morning, there was a huge bonfire, and sixth brother was tied to a post, and the emperor had it lit up in no time. But nothing happened. In fact, sixth brother enjoyed it. He thought, "Oh, it's so kind of the emperor to keep me warm on this cold day." The emperor was absolutely terrified at this point. "This man is more powerful than I even imagined," he thought to himself. "Surely a volley of arrows will do the job." And so he had his 2 armies notch arrows in their bows and aim them right at the brother. And he said, "When morning comes, the volley will attack, and surely This man cannot escape, the emperor thought. Sixth brother started to cry. But this time, nobody could keep seventh brother happy any longer. And so, at the news that sixth brother was going to be shot down by arrows, seventh brother let a tear slip down his cheek and onto the ground. And suddenly a great big burst of water came rolling down the hills. And this huge, huge tear, the size of the Yellow Sea, swiped away all of the armies. One army to the north and one army to the south. And the emperor himself was also swept away. So, all of the brothers were reunited. And from the damage of the seventh brother's doing, they found that they were able to reconstruct everything. They were able to find food. They were able to build a fire. And they were able to eat together. Because after a week of all of this traveling, they needed to have a good meal. Thank you.